Inbound marketing at its core is all about humanizing and creating relationships with your prospects. In a world rife with virtual conversations and technological interaction, let's face it, we crave realness. Developing a buyer persona is 100% the best way to understand the relationship between you and your consumer and learn the ins and outs of who you're engaging with. With a little research and some real-life data, you can easily take the guesswork out of the equation and identify who your customers really are. Hey guys, it's Liv here from Neighborhood, where we help brands find, sell, and keep their people. So, what is a buyer persona? A buyer persona is a semi-fictional representation of an ideal customer, informed by marketing research and real data about your existing audience. Identifying the personas you're targeting will transform your ability to attract, engage, and delight your customers. Essentially, putting yourself in their shoes will make your interactions more effective. So, now you've got that down pat, let's look at some key questions you should be asking to paint a clearer picture. In doing so, you'll be able to design personal experiences for all your prospects, working in each and every way towards the inbound methodology. First up, learn about your customer. Personalization begins with getting personal, so start by defining the basic demographic information that gives you a summary of your customer. The trick to all of this is to identify what's relevant to your product or service and use this to improve how and what you communicate. For example, for a company or product which revolves heavily around technology, finding out how frequently someone uses their phone may be more relevant. To get the ball rolling, here are some ideas. Think about someone's age, gender, nationality, household income, disposable income, whether the buyer lives in an urban, suburban, or rural environment, individual hobbies, level of education, and the company or type of work that they do. Moreover, figuring out someone's why will provide the greatest intel on them in terms of creating a buyer persona. So the following points will be the most critical in better understanding your customers. Look at things like biggest challenges, career goals, and fears or pain points. It's really important that you gather a fair number of sources and viewpoints to ensure you make a more accurate persona, therefore helping you to gain the resources to build a more personalized relationship between you and your audience. Essentially, you want to identify the demographic, social, and geographical stats that make your customer an individual. But how are you going to get those answers? Well, to start off, you could survey existing customers, invest in one-on-one interviews, check your analytics, or even talk to your employees. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And hey, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell so you can stay up to date on all our latest videos delivered every week to your inbox. Now that you've got all this information and you've collected answers from your buyers, it's time to put it to use by determining how to segment your customers. If you don't know where to begin, don't stress. It's not unusual for the information to pull you multiple different directions. Just remember that you'll be creating multiple personas for the different types of people you target. With any business, you'll be interacting with an array of different people. So while these categories will identify the segments, they are definitely not overly specific or alienating. To better explain, let's imagine that we run a website design service to businesses. While reaching out to prospective customers, we would tend to encounter two different types of people: tech savvy and not. Starting with the tech-savvy people, this group typically involve entrepreneurs and small business owners who are keen to understand new technology. They're less focused on the bottom line, but rather staying ahead of the trends. And now, what about those non-tech savvy people? Well, they might usually include older management. They're the individuals who are less ready for change or innovative ideas. These individuals prefer to focus on delivering excellent service to improve their bottom line rather than marketing. Having identified these two groups, we might now be wondering, how will this help our relationship with these customers? Well, segmenting these two groups means we can better understand how to communicate with each individual, bringing the information they care about to the forefront of our interaction. So now, third on the agenda is to create our persona. Continuing with the before website design example, having gone through the first two steps, combining insight with the information gained from interviewing customers and collecting survey data, we've come up with the following buyer persona for Supervisor Sam as an example. As an overview, Sam supervises a team of 10 at a recruiting firm. He completed his undergraduate degree in management in 2005. In terms of his demographics, he's male, 38 years old, maintains an annual income of $74,000, lives in Sydney with his dog Ollie, 2 kids, and white picket fence. His challenges or pain points are keeping staff and standing out amongst the competition. His biggest fear is being let go or losing competent customers and advisors to a competitor. His goals or motivators are to work for one of the best recruitment firms in Australia, find top quality candidates for his clients, and achieve a salary of over $100,000. His hobbies include outdoor activities like hiking, cycling, taking holidays with his wife, and spending time with his children whenever he can. As I'm sure you can see, the following format filters the key personality traits of this individual, painting a clearer picture about what this individual wants. However, the information that you place into the profile must relate to the product or service that you're providing. So there you go. You've now got the first steps to building your buyer persona under your belt. You're now well on your way to understanding the challenges your customers face, how they make decisions, and importantly, how you can better serve them by changing the way you communicate forever. So if you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with someone you know that needs a hand with creating buyer personas. You can also subscribe to our blog, where you'll find a bunch more tools, tips, and templates to help you find, sell, and keep your people, just like Neighbourhood does. So that's it from me. Happy marketing.